Yeah, man. Dealing with people, they want you to. A lot of people want you to speak smooth stuff. There was somebody came in my live last night, and they were saying things. You talk about this every day. Yeah, that's what they said. Because some people actually think you're wrong for the way that, it's a reason why I'm speaking like this. You know what I'm saying? We already living in oppression. And then the same sister that came in here and said that this is all I speak on, she dealt with a racist damn so-called white woman, called the police on them, on her and her child in front of the store, by the store, whatever. But in the same breath, they will come on a person that's actually speaking out. That's what the hell. I'm like, it's like what I gather from that is a lot of people are willing to forgive their enemy. I couldn't be with nobody like that. You see what I'm saying? I really couldn't. I couldn't. That that's why the Apostle Paul in the First Corinthians, he made this statement about if you don't have a wife, if you don't have a wife, seek not to be bound to one. Don't seek to be loose. And then he also made the statement. He said, if you marry, you ain't sin. But he said, there's gonna always be some. It's gonna be tough. It ain't gonna. You're gonna have some trouble in the flesh. He made it clear. He says, I give this not by command from God, but this is from me. He made it clear. And he says, also, he says, those who marry does well, but he that does not give her in marriage do better. You do better. And because think about the story of Eve, Adam, the parable of Eve in the Garden of Eden. It wasn't no literal apple tree. It was talking about knowledge. That's what it was dealing with. So what happened? Eve took up the knowledge. She was influenced by the knowledge of the other nations, right? Adam, notice that the enemy didn't go to Adam. He went to Eve first. You see what I'm saying? So what happened after that? Then instead of the man standing up and being the leader and saying, no, we not gonna engage that's fucked up doctrine. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit ass doctrine. That's bullshit. That's where the man, that's an example of a man stepping in. Nah, this is some bullshit here. You know what I'm saying? So God, he had a reason for speaking the way that he did. Okay, here we go. It says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 32, but I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for the things that belongs to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is unmarried cares for the things that are of the Lord, that are of the world, how he may, wait a minute, but he that is unmarried, he that is married cares for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. That's some, that even sound like some simp lame shit, even when you reading this shit. I mean, excuse me, not shit, but when you reading this. You see what I'm saying? There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. It's a difference. The unmarried woman cares for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in the spirit. But she that is married cares for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. This even sounds like some simp stuff too. And thus I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely. It's comely. And that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and needs so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. Let them marry. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but has power over his own will, he so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, does well. He said, if you want to stay single, you do well. But I mean, so then he that giveth her in marriage does well. If you give her in marriage, that's a good thing. It's good. It's okay or whatever. But he that giveth her not in marriage does better. You do better. Because think about what I saw that comment up in here last night. The comment was, that's all you speak on. Yeah, this was a sister was saying that. You see what I'm saying? They said, that's all you speak on. And then she made other statements and said, well, black kids are lazy and all this type of stuff. And just, to me, those are signs of a sellout. That's a sign of somebody who will compromise, even though they know that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is living in an oppressed system and being oppressed by the enemy, all of the other nations. This shows you that these sisters, most of them, the majority of them, will sell their soul out to the devil. You see what I'm saying? So that right there would be a problem. You can't go into especially if a man or whatever, or somebody is doing the best he can to be a leader, and you speaking like that, that marriage is not going to, it ain't going, right there, it's going, that's going to be, because see, you already showing and revealing, and I'm just speaking across the globe, you already showing and revealing the type of person and what will determine this. You see what I'm saying? If you don't let the person be the leader, and then, you know what I'm saying, be you know what I'm saying, a man's supposed to be like the leader, you know, the somebody that's giving the head. You know, he put the man as the head, he put the woman as the woman is supposed to follow, as long as he in the Most High, in the will of the Most High. But most men and even most women don't even, some of them don't even want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? You speak like that because what's going through their mind is that this, and it ain't no what nigga gonna control me and all that kind of stuff. The Bible it says in verse 39, the wife is bound by. Oh, let's go back and read 38. So then, he that giveth her in marriage does well. You do well. That means it's all right. But he that giveth her not in marriage does better. You have to pause there and think about, why would he say that? Why would he say, if you don't give in marriage, you do better? Because you ain't got to deal with the headaches. You ain't got to deal with because let's say it like this. Let's just keep it 100. I ain't never been in. I've been single all my life. I never had been with no children. I never had children. None of that type of stuff. But I do understand. I grew up in the community to where I seen a lot of our sisters was conditioned by the system, which would go back to Esau, the biblical name for the so-called white man, put a lot of brothers on child support and stuff like that. I'm growing up around this, and this is what I see. And when I read the Bible, I'm like, damn, oh, well, you know what? It is matching up, because they will put you to get by all means. Because think about it. Most of them, they've been conditioned by slavery is to just think about money, 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 money. I want me a man working 6 figures and all this type of stuff. He got to be making this. He got to be doing this and that. I ain't gonna bring. I done heard some of them on YouTube say, I ain't bringing nothing to the table. It's his job, and if he lose everything, I'm gonna leave him and go to somebody. That's not right. That's not the definition of somebody. If you say that to any man or me, I'm just gonna look at you and just label you. Well, that's a sign. God is giving you a sign to let you know, don't get involved with nobody like that. They not real. That's a sign. Also, first and foremost, you're not genuine. Because a genuine woman wouldn't be like that unless she's conditioned into the ways of this slave master, the so-called white man, the enemy the Bible speaks of, the Esau, the devil. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way that she'll speak like that. You see what I'm saying? And they don't care. They just trying to get what they call today the bag or the bread. That's sad. When I even look on you, it's just sad how this modern day society is today. And our women, most of them being brainwashed by the so-called white man ways of America here, they think that makes perfect motherfucking sense. They think it makes sense. They actually believe in their mind what they doing is the right thing. And you see, look at the families today. If you look in the so-called African American and Hispanic, blacks, and Native American families, this slavery stuff through the so-called white man, it divide. Look how we are divided. Look how we living in separate communities right now. Look at how we struggling even from day to day, hoping to have a better future in all of our families and our children. Look at the vast majority, a lot of our people got diabetes and all this type of stuff, and the devil even trying to afflict those that don't have it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why how many marriages is in this world how many people that you know that's married? I guarantee you can count them on your hand in the so-called African American, Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. I guarantee you can count that shit on your goddamn hand. It ain't many of our people married. It ain't many of our people married. No, you can count them on your damn hand, on your hand. You can literally count that shit on your damn hand. How many fathers do you know in the two-parent household? You got the father in the household, and you got let's say, is there 90% of the fathers in the African American community, in Hispanic and Native American home? Think about that. Is the father in the home? Do we see families? Do we see real families walking down the road? I'm not talking about this mixed shit, this mixed family and dating outside your race. This is that modern day shit where people date outside their race and all that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm not talking about having all these mixed kids that our mindset is into. If I have these mixed kids, my baby's gonna be looking good and all that kind of stuff. That's why today you see more of the light skin. Like this is a condition that comes from slavery. When you look at the views and stuff on YouTube and stuff, those views get millions of views just off the fact of a child just showing themselves. This is just me pointing this stuff out. If you go on YouTube and look at them little small clip video, some of them and the long ones too, a lot of them short clip videos got millions of views, and most of them they are people who are very light skinned. I see it. Because they're using this light skin, dark skin thing is to allow us to be competing with each other. Anything that can separate you, conquer you, and divide you, they throw those things around and play word games with our people like this here. These are the games that they play. The so-called white man and the white woman and child, and they all of them got it now. And then a lot of people get on here and say, well, you using the white man's internet, and if he's so racist, does he come after you? All that he does, he lets you say whatever you want to say on his internet, but he don't come and look you up because they know fucking well it's true. They know it's true because they know deep down on the inside, they know that they have the privileges and they know it's right. How you gonna come after something that's right? Because they know they'll make themselves look stupid as hell if they try to come and do that. And first and foremost, black man invented the internet. The black man invented all of that. They take, just like somebody took Whitney Houston's song, and I'm seeing so-called white women going around singing the song that Whitney Houston sang. They going around copying her. I seen some of them. Then they copied Michael Jackson as well too. They copied him. If you look on them, the couple of months, years ago, they used to have it on TV where they was copying Thriller, putting on them clothes Michael Jackson had on. So-called white people was doing that, and they was out in the streets with them costumes and stuff on, like he made the song Thriller years ago, and was advertising on the TV and stuff like that, trying to be so-called black, trying to be all these different things. You see what I'm saying? And what we can do, they can take and create something, and our people can take it and whoop their ass with it. Can take them and beat them to their own game with it. And can be better with it. Better at it than what they try to create. That's how good that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are. You know? And I'm just telling the truth. Yeah. Now, they got some other stuff that's talking about marriages too. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7. It's telling you how to be temperance with your wife. And the first part, the early verses of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. One of them caught my eye. Matter of fact, let's read from verse 1 and go all the way down. Now, concerning the thing whereof ye write unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Now, we know in the Esau, and this is order, right? This is called order. That's why the Apostle Paul said, give that off. Now, if you look in our society today, what they got men with men and women with women and all that. That's out of order. That's not the order of God. Let the husband render unto the wife, do benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife has not power over her own body. That means she shouldn't be out there selling herself. But the husband, and likewise also the husband, had not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud, verse 5, defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent. That means consent means defraud. I mean both of y'all agree to this end, to the consent of getting down. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your innocency. But I speak this by permission, not of the commandment. For I would that all men were even as I myself. But every man has his proper gift of God, one after this manner, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. In other words, you burning with all this lust, this passion and stuff like that, he says better, because when you burning with passion, it may cause some of us to kind of like myself, you know what I'm saying, like go off or something, And I'm not saying that I'm not exempt from this here. It says, and unto the married I command Yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. But to the rest speak I not the Lord. If any brother has a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. That means if she want to stay with him, say, no, I don't want you to break up. Then what Paul is saying, I respect that decision. It says, and the woman which has an husband that believe not, if she have a husband that's not that don't fear God and don't keep the commandments, if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. I mean, wait a minute. In the woman which has an husband that believes not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. It's on both ends. If he still want to stay with her, then don't leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases. That means if they want to leave, let them go. But God had called us to peace. For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband, or know how then a man whether thou shalt save thy life? Save thy wife, my bad. All right. But as God had distributed to every man as the Lord had called everyone, God had called everyone, so let him walk. So ordained I in all churches. He's ordained as a minister is to go to every Christianity church, because our people is scattered in all different types of religion, Islam and Muslim religion. And the Apostle Paul was part of, he was a Catholic, he was killing the Christians and stuff. And so he went into, because all of them wasn't and this was all these letters, what the people that he was going to was the Israelites, because the Israelites were scattered everywhere. Is any man called being circumcised, let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called in uncircumcised, let him not be circumcised. Now watch this here. Verse 19. Circumcision is nothing and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of God. In other words, keeping of the commandments of God is what counts. That's what matters. Nothing else matters but keeping all of the 613 commandments. That's what it's saying. Even trying. Some people at least try. Some people don't even try. Let verse 20 of 1 Corinthians 7 verse 20. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Art thou called being a servant? Care not for it. But if thou mayest be made free, use it rather. For he that is called in the Lord, being a servant, is the Lord's free man. Likewise also he that is called being free is Christ's servant. Ye are bought with a price. Be not ye the servants of men. The Most High says, talking about women too, you're bought with a price. So why would you take something that's bought with a price and profane it through the lust of prostitution and stuff like that? The Most High said you're bought with a price. But Esau is telling you it's okay for you to be a whore and to cause your daughter to be a whore. That's what Esau is telling you. And our people believe it. I'm just reading, I'm literally just reading the Bible today. Leviticus 19, verse 29. Leviticus 19:29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. The Most High says, don't prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore. Why? Leviticus 20, verse 26. Leviticus 20, verse 26, going to give you the answer why. And ye shall be holy unto me. What does the word holy mean? The word holy just simply means to be separate. You're different. Ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, I am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Severed you. The word holy just simply means to be separate. You're not supposed to do all that. You see what I'm saying? And when you do that, he said you're bought with a price. But if you don't listen to that, that means that judgment, there's a judgment that's going to come to you for not listening. First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 23. Ye are bought with a price. Be not ye the servants of men. Brother, let every man wherein he is called, wherein abide with God. Now, verse 25. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment as one. He said, I give my judgment as one that has obtained mercy of the Lord to be faithful. I suppose, therefore, that verse 26, I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. The present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. This is what I literally just read. From a wife, seek not to be loose. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. Now this is what he giving you. And he said, don't even seek for him. But if thou hast married, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such should have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Now it goes on, it gets on at the last parts of the verse. It is basically telling you why. And I already read it in this video. You know what I'm saying? So he said, if you are unmarried, seek not a wife. You know, he says, are you bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. If you're single, he's telling you to don't seek now. And now he's not telling people is to not to marry. He's just saying that you're going to have some problem. You're going to have some distractions and stuff like that. But if you marry, you ain't sin. You see what I'm saying? And he goes on to say, he that marries does well, but he that remains single does better. He that remains single and don't seek and choose to be unmarried, you do better than the one who's married. That's what the Bible says. So I'm thinking about that, and you can see where that is sad though, because you got people who are not willing to commit. That's what it's really all about. The vast majority of people are not willing to commit. You following one thing, and then this motherfucker here believe in this bullshit. You believe in you going this way, and they going. Your marriage is automatically fucked up. Yeah. So I guess there's no need for me to keep this video out. I guess this video here was boring to some people, because the vast majority of people, more than likely, they ain't not gonna watch this video because it's too much like the truth in it. But that's the way it'll be though. When you ain't out here, you ain't. Matter of fact, let me get a scripture on it. Oh, okay, let's go to Hebrews. That's it. Hebrews chapter 11. I know it's 11. Hebrews chapter 11. I might have to just read a couple of verses in order to be able to get to it. By faith, Abel offered unto God more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. God testified of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speak. By faith Enos was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. Okay? But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith, Noah being warned of God of things not seen. Okay. Of things not seen, as yet moved with fear, preparing an ark to the saving of his house. Preparing an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world, and became heir of righteousness, which is by faith. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out unto a place which he should offer, received for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing. He went out by faith, not knowing. He went out not knowing whither he went. By faith he sojourned in the land of the promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. That's about Isaac and Jacob. For he looketh for a city which is the foundation, whose builder and maker is God. Through faith also Sarah also received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had the promise. Okay, the part that I want to get to is Okay, I skip y'all. By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, a blessing both of the sons of Joseph and worshiping, leaning up on the top of his staff. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departure of the children of Israel and gave commandments concerning his bones. By faith, when Moses, when he was born, was hidden 3 months of his parents because they saw that he was a prosperous child. Okay, and was not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, when Moses, when he was come to refuse to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Okay, here we go right here. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Do I feel like I'm going to suffering? Yes. Choose rather to suffer affliction. Choose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin, all this sex and prostitution and stuff, than to enjoy the pleasures of sin, because all that stuff feels good, bro. That's powerful within itself right there. It says, by faith, Moses, when he was come 2 years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Choose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, lying to the people, telling people how many more shot of y'all you're gonna get the pleasures of sin, taking people's money, all that stuff, bro. The Most High says you're choosing to suffer affliction with his people. It says, by faith, when I like this, y'all. I love this here. And that's why I'm reiterating the reading. By faith, when Moses, when he was come 2 years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Choose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. The pleasures of sin, rape, all that type of stuff. Stuff like that. Because when you go out doing what Esau do, it's pleasures of sin for a season. That's pleasure. And that's what people do. I guess that'll be it for right now. It's was from the tribe of Levi. If Moses was living today, he would be called a so-called Haitian, so-called, like when you say Creole, that's the same as Haitian. The only thing that's a difference is the languages. You got Creole, and then you got Haitian Creole. You see what I'm saying? Then you got like French Creole. It's just the languages. It has to do with the languages. The languages are the same, but it's just that one live in Haitian, which is the origin of where the Creole come from, and then you got the Louisiana Creole that was came here later on when they transferred all of the word Creole. I looked it up and it just simply means a slave born in Louisiana. That's all. Yeah, that's all. It means a slave born in the master's house. So Moses was what Moses? Moses choose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. He chose not to give up the commandments of God to go follow the commandments of Esau, this world, man. Yeah, that's what it's saying. So I'm gonna stop it here, bro. That's it. I guess that's all for right now, man. All right.